me ask you something. Have you ever read the Beatitudes in Matthew 5 and thought, God, this doesn't feel like blessing? Because when I read, blessed are the poor, blessed are those who mourn, I'm like, where is the blessing in that? Or is it possible we've been defining blessed the wrong way?
I'ma work what I got. Yeah, I'm walking in grace. Walking in grace. Got that fire inside. You can see it on my face. Yeah, won't hide my light. I'm built for the spot. God gave me
Real faith, real talk, real life.
I'ma work what I got. Yeah, ain't waiting on perfect. I'm moving it.
Hey fam, welcome to Work What You Got. Here we talk about all things life, how to deal with it, how to work with it, and sometimes how to just survive it. Matilda is here with me today to discuss what does it really mean to be blessed.
Thanks, Camilla. Hey, fam. I'm excited to be here.
All right, so today we're talking about Matthew chapter 5, specifically the Beatitudes. Not rushing through them, not preaching at you, but really talking through them. So let's start with the basics. What are the Beatitudes really?
The Beatitudes are the opening of one of Jesus' most famous sermon, the Sermon on the Mount. They are 8 blessings outlining the virtues of the kingdom of God and the rewards for those who live by them. And what's interesting is, before he talks about behavior or gives instructions, he starts with the heart.
So he's not telling us what to do first. He's telling us who to be?
Exactly. And even deeper than that, he's showing us what the kingdom of God actually values. Because everything he says here goes against what the world says is blessed.
That part. Because when we think blessed, we think success, money, peace, things going right. But Jesus starts with being poor, mourning. That feels backwards.
The kingdom of God operates in a completely different system.
All right, let's break it down verse by verse. Verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard that, I thought it meant being depressed. So what does poor in spirit actually mean?
It doesn't mean being depressed. It means aware. It's the person who recognizes, I cannot do this life without God.
So, not self-sufficient?
Right. It's the opposite of pride. It's not, I got this. It's, God, I need you.
Whew. And that's hard, because we live in a world that rewards independence.
Exactly. But in God's kingdom, dependence on Him is strength.
So the blessing is not in being empty, but in knowing where to go to be filled. Verse 4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Now this one hits different, because mourning doesn't feel like blessing at all.
No, it doesn't. But this isn't just about losing someone. It's also about grieving sin, grieving brokenness, grieving what's not right in the world, and even in ourselves.
So this is deeper than grief or sadness? This is awareness of brokenness?
Yes. And the blessing is, God doesn't avoid that place. He meets you in it.
So instead of pretending we're okay, he's saying, come to me as you are.
Exactly. Because real comfort, the real blessing only comes after real honesty.
Okay. Verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now, I used to think meek meant soft, passive, easily walked over.
A lot of people think that. But meekness is actually strength under control. It's knowing you have power, but choosing not to misuse it.
So this is humility with strength.
Yes, Jesus himself was meek. He had all power, but chose surrender.
That's deep, because the world says, take control, dominate, assert yourself. But God says, trust me enough to surrender control.
Yep, and that's why they inherit the earth, because they're aligned with God's authority, not their own.
All right, last one for this segment. Verse 6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Now this one, I understand it, but I don't always feel like I live it.
Because hunger requires desire. And sometimes we don't crave God like we think we do.
Because we say we want God, but we also want comfort, ease, control.
Right. But this is about a deep internal craving. God, I want to be aligned with you, more than I want anything else.
It isn't about being perfect. It's about wanting, desiring righteousness.
Yes, and the promise is, you will be filled, not maybe. Not if you earn it, but if you hunger, he responds.
Okay, Matilda, let's pause right here, because we've already unpacked a lot to think about and sit in. In Matthew 5, Jesus is showing us that being blessed isn't about what we have. It's about who we are becoming.
And every one of these starts on the inside. Before actions, before results, it's the heart.
Okay, fam. So here's the question we want you to sit with. Which one of the Beatitudes we discussed challenges you the most right now? Depending on God? Allowing yourself to grieve? Surrendering control? Truly desiring righteousness? In part 2, Matilda and I will be back and we'll discuss the remaining Beatitudes, Matthew 5, 7 through 10. We're going to shift from the heart to how this shows up in how we live.
Because the Beatitudes don't just teach us what it means to be truly blessed, they shape how we move in the world. So make sure you join us next week to continue the conversation. See you all next week.
I'll see you next time, fam. And remember, stay grounded, protect your peace, and work what you got. God bless.